Hey y'all, welcome back. Today we're checking out top 10 worst things the Gallagher brothers have done to each other. What did you do?
Welcome to Watch Mojo UK, and today we're counting down our picks for the worst things the Gallagher brothers have said and done to each other.
Why are you trying to pick a fight? We've only just got into the country.
Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos.
Y'all, I've never been a huge Oasis fan. Actually, I wouldn't even consider myself any level of Oasis fan. When they first came out in the 90s, I had kind of a chip on my shoulder about them because it seemed like they were just copying the Beatles. Even though they weren't directly copying the Beatles, I felt like, you can't do that, you know? I was bitter. And so that's kept me away from them. Whenever I see the Gallagher brothers, I'm just like, ugh, don't. But recently, I've realized that they are funny as hell. They should have been stand-up comedians. They're really funny. These are the top 10 worst things they've done to each other that we know of, you know? Like, I bet this is going to be hilarious. So, let's see.
It's absolutely no secret that these Manchester brothers have despised each other over the years, and this is a pretty good example of that. In 1996, the band had an opportunity to play on MTV Unplugged around the peak of their popularity. But right before they were set to perform, Liam suddenly backed out. We're talking minutes here.
Minutes?
He claimed to have a sore throat, but Noel alleges that he was simply hungover. But the show must go on. Noel took charge in the performance and actually pulled it off incredibly well.
Sounds very similar.
Liam, on the other hand, opted to make matters worse and heckled Noel during the gig from the mezzanine above.
Liam, he's smoking. He's smoking a cigarette, drinking a beer, claiming to have a sore throat. Best way to doctor a sore throat is with cigarettes and beer. He's doing the right thing. Wow, I'm impressed that Noel could just do it. He sounded a lot like Liam in that clip. Hope I can play it on YouTube. He just did it. He knew the words. I assume he got the lyrics correct. And he could still play? I'm impressed that they didn't just cancel the whole thing, too. When they showed this clip of him in the audience, it did ring a bell. I vaguely remember hearing about this. But this, again, is one of those things at the time where I was like, I don't even want to give it any attention. That's hilarious. Hilarious. Is Liam Gallagher my new hero? I don't know. Okay, that was number 10. That's pretty bad. What's number 9?
Number 9. Supernatural disturbances. Many might remember the bizarre article which came out, in which Liam Gallagher claimed that the rocking chair of John Lennon, which was in his possession, could potentially be haunted. This may suggest he believes in the supernatural, but should he? As it turns out, Noel used to play quite the cruel trick on his brother back in the day. According to him, he would often move chairs around the house in an attempt to make Liam believe that his home was haunted. That is some next level psychological warfare.
Yeah, that's hilarious. That's hilarious. That's good sibling fun. I remember one time when I was a kid, I have an older brother, and me and one of my cousins were in my room playing. I had this little Garfield figurine on my dresser because I loved Garfield for some reason. But me and my cousin were sitting there doing whatever we're doing, and then this Garfield figurine jumps off the dresser onto the floor and then starts running across the floor. And me and my cousin just froze. We freaked out. Apparently, earlier my brother tied a piece of fishing string to Garfield's foot, and then he waited until me and my cousin were in my room, and he just started pulling on the fishing line. Similar prank. It freaked me out. For a moment there, it like changed my concept of the universe, you know? It was scary for just a moment. Brothers.
Number 8. If you woke up one day, as you'll see in this list, a lot of the Gallagher brothers' beef ends up on Twitter. Still not calling it X, sorry. In this interaction, one user posed the question to Liam, what if you woke up in Noel's body one day? Well, he could have taken the high road and ignored it. But that's not our Liam.
Oh boy.
He responded saying he would, quote, scream and need someone to pass him the stepladders, otherwise he couldn't reach the cornflakes on the table and would starve. It's worth
funny.
noting that Noel is 5'9" and Liam is only 5'10". So,
He's
we're not
1 inch
exactly
taller.
sure where he gets his confidence from in this put down.
He's still taller. He's 1 inch taller. And he just... This is great. This is great. See, Liam is hilarious. I saw him in another video making fun of how short his brother was, but I didn't know it was just 1 inch shorter than him. That's so funny. I'm 2 inches taller than Liam Gallagher, y'all. Wow. Makes me feel good about myself.
Number 7, where it all began. Given that these two brothers made a world-renowned band together, there must have been a time when they got along, right? Wrong. They've been at each other's necks from a very early age. Liam himself revealed the origins of their feud and surprisingly implicated himself as the instigator. The story goes that
That's
when
not
Liam
surprising.
had just turned 19 and had his first drink, he got up in the middle of the night with the urge to take a leak. But when navigating his way to the bathroom, he somehow ended up in front of Noel's brand new stereo, which he mistook for the toilet.
That
You can
happens.
guess what happened next. When revealing the story on the Graham Norton show, we were privy to Liam's recollection of the conversation that took place afterwards, and it doesn't make him sound much better.
I said, listen, mate, it could have been worse. It could have been in your mouth, you know.
That's true. Y'all, this happens. I don't think he did that intentionally. I'm defending Liam on this one. I've seen it happen. I had a roommate who urinated on my DVDs. I had a friend who urinated in the corner of his room. I, grabbed his shoulders and I walked him into the bathroom and put him in front of the toilet. It happens. No, it could have been in your mouth. Liam could have pissed in your mouth. But he didn't. It's an innocent mistake. Noel, forgive your brother. Forgive him.
Number 6, name calling. If there's one thing that's been endlessly entertaining about the brothers' feud, it's the petty name calling. And where on earth do we begin? There's the memorable Tofu Boy, which Liam threw at Noel when claiming he shouldn't release songs without his vocals, or when Noel called Liam a pigeon, which got under his skin so much, Liam retorted by calling him his former brother. Or the short but emphatic Potato by Liam, which was accompanied by a profile picture of Noel. Somehow these two can take
Potato.
basic words and turn them into the most scathing insults.
Potato and pigeon? Yeah, those are... I have to read these tweets. Liam, what would you do if you saw Noel on the street? Bus him up. I see Noel Katie Hopkins Gallagher is talking out of his slack arse again. Go and polish your saxophone. Ha Noel Katie Hopkins Gallagher. Wait, why do I know the name Katie Hopkins? Katie Hopkins. Katie Hopkins is an English media personality, political commentator, and former columnist, businesswoman. Okay. Funny. Oi, Tofu Boy, if you're gonna release old demos, make sure I'm singing on it and Bonehead's playing guitar on it. If not, it's not worth a blank as you were. LG. Gotta address the blank that come out my former brother's mouth. He's on a journey and needs to learn things. Well, last chance to ask Noel anything about the last 10 years. Get your questions in the comments below by midnight tonight. Oh, okay. Oh, why you such a massive blank?
Number 5, called out on telly. There has been countless interviews with these two over the years, and guess what the number one topic of conversation is each time? That's right, their dislike for each other. One time that must have really stung in particular was when Noel popped on Graham Norton. He tore into Liam, labeling his brother as obsessed with him. He then encouraged the other celebrities to wave at him on camera, as he was so obsessed he would definitely be watching from home.
Oh, there's Jack Black. And The Rock. And Kevin Hart.
It must have been
and
at
Jessica
least a
Chastain.
little humiliating for him to
Jessica
see.
Chastain.
Of course, Liam didn't take it sitting down and called Noel out for being obsessed with him.
Did you enjoy the shout-out Noel gave you on Graham Norton? He seems a fan. I think he's obsessed with me, the creepy little tart. Oh.
Maybe they're just obsessed with each other, who can say?
It's so funny. Yeah, it's hard to imagine that it's not just for fun, you know? Are they really that angry at each other? I don't think they are. I think they're just having fun. You know?
Number 4, album review.
Oh,
Since
boy.
splitting up, these two have produced a few notable songs. Not exactly Oasis tier goods, but still, though they may feel differently about each other's solo endeavors. Back in 2020, when Liam released his album Why Me, Why Not, Noel once again took to Twitter and had something to say.
Nothing to see here, dudes and dollies. Silence is still golden. And just in case you weren't already aware, someone still has a new single out. I believe it's called Once, which is the exact amount of times it should be played. It's funny. They're funny.
In particular, it was his song Once, which Noel suggested should be the amount of times people listen to it because of its supposed poor quality. He also went on to remark that the album would be available in all good record shops, but mostly the shit ones. Fortunately for Liam, other music review outlets were much more favorable.
I mean, that's not surprising. See, that's a harsh review, but it's not that bad. The attacks feel like kind of on the surface, you know? Like, not that bad. But funny.
Number 3, their biggest brawl. Everyone gives into the rock and roll lifestyle once in a while, but there's a time and a place. According to the brothers, this was their biggest fight in history. To the shock of no one, this story also starts in a pub. Liam took a break during their recording sessions for What's the Story Morning Glory down at a local. One thing led to another, and he ultimately ended up inviting everyone from the pub into the studio. Noel, who was working hard on the album, was infuriated by this decision, and this led to another of their infamous brawls. But there's something about this one that witnesses will never forget. Noel supposedly took a cricket bat and smashed it across Liam's skull. The bat has even become a collector's item in the years since.
That could have killed him. Maybe they're not joking around. That could kill him. These are the top 3. This is number 3, so maybe they should stay away from knives and tall buildings. I recorded a reaction to a Liam Gallagher interview, but I saw in that interview that he said once he stopped going to the pub, his life has been a lot easier. If I went to a pub and I saw Liam Gallagher, I would try to avoid him. I feel like he could find any reason to hate me and just punch me in the face, and I wouldn't know what to do. I'd cry probably. I'd start singing All You Need Is Love. Try to get him in the Beatle thing. Kill him with kindness. Liam, I love you. Don't attack me, please.
Number 2, Soup. If there's one line that has really struck a nerve between the Gallagher boys, it's this. Back in 2009, when Oasis was still together, Noel took a surprising dig at his brother. He's quoted as calling him rude, arrogant, intimidating, and lazy. Not exactly what you'd come out with about your brother and bandmates, but it's the next part that everyone remembers. Noel called Liam the angriest man you'll ever meet, like a man with a fork in a world of soup. Brutal. It's definitely something that stirred Liam up, as over a decade later, he would post a passive-aggressive tweet of himself sipping soup.
You made a very so-called angry man very, very happy.
Hopefully, he'll be able to wipe this line from memory and behave in the 2025 tour.
Yeah, interesting that the soup comment got him. Rude, arrogant, intimidating, and lazy. Rude? Yeah, I've seen that. Arrogant? Probably. Intimidating? Definitely. And lazy? I don't know, maybe. A man with a fork in a world of soup. That does make it seem like he's incapable. That might hurt. But I love that he did this. 10 years later or something? Over a decade later. Hilarious. Way to go, Liam.
Number 1, Spain tour. It's no wonder the two don't get along after bust-ups like this. Back in 2000, after a show had been cancelled due to Alan White's injury, the gang decided to spend their night in Barcelona having a few drinks instead. This was a
That's how it
mistake.
starts.
Somehow, Liam turned the conversation at the table to Noel's wife, Meg Matthews, and even went as far as to imply that their baby daughter, Anais, was not legitimately Noel's. Of course, this resulted in Noel smacking his brother in the face, splitting his lip wide open. Noel was so incensed by the accusation that he straight up quit the rest of the tour and had to be replaced. Can you really blame him? What's the funniest Gallagher brothers story you've ever heard?
I feel like for it to bother him that much, there may have been a little bit of truth in it. Maybe she's Liam's daughter. Especially with some drinks in them, you know? Your pride gets inflated a little bit. You feel invincible. These guys just need to not drink. Drinking's not for everybody. But y'all, they're getting back together. They're going on a tour next year. That's exciting. I wonder what'll happen. Surely they'll create some new stories and we'll get some funny comments from both of them. Looking forward to seeing what happens. Tell me more about this tour. Oasis announces 2025 U.S. tour dates. Show me the locations. Okay. Great Britain, Great Britain, Great Britain, Great Britain, Great Britain, Great Britain, Great Britain. Canada, Chicago, East Rutherford, New Jersey, Pasadena, California. It's nearby. Mexico City. Do I want to go? $350, $360, $372, $418. God, y'all. $500. Jesus. $700 and y'all, almost $800. This is why people are canceling tours. The tickets are too expensive. I don't want to sound like an old man, but I am an old man, sort of, and when I was a teenager, tickets were like $15, $20 to see one of the biggest bands in the world. Now it's $800. Well, these guys are hilarious. Someday someone's going to wise up and they're going to make a TV show about them growing up together. I would watch that. I would pay money to see that. I would donate $800. In this photo, Noel must be standing on an apple box because he looks a little bit taller than Liam. It might be the hair. He's got his hair spiked up. That's what it is, to look a little taller. Smart Noel. Keep it up. Keep it up, boys. Well, this was a hilarious video. I hope you all enjoyed it. Be sure to like and subscribe. Help me out. I'd like to say thanks to my patrons. Thank you all for watching this with me, and I'll see you next time. Later.